Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a huge topic in early childhood education, guiding behavior. But here's the thing, we're gonna flip the script a little. What if we stop seeing behavior as a problem to be managed and start seeing it as a skill to be taught? So how do we do that?
Right? What is the secret to that classroom that just feels calm, cooperative? Well, the answer might not be what you think. It has less to do with rules and discipline and everything to do with connection, understanding, and actually teaching kids what to do. And that brings us to the absolute bedrock of all of this. Before a single strategy or technique will ever work, you have to have this one thing in place: positive relationships. Seriously, everything else we're about to talk about is built right on top of this foundation. I love this quote because it gets right to the heart of it. When kids feel safe with you, when they feel nurtured, that's when they have the confidence to actually explore and learn. That feeling of safety, it isn't just a nice little extra. It is the non-negotiable starting point for everything. Okay, so once that foundation of a strong relationship is there, what's next? Well, now we have to understand what we're actually seeing. You can't guide behavior if you don't get what's driving it. So it's time to put on our detective hats and start looking for clues. Behavior is never random. It is always communication. And we can start to decode that communication by looking through these three lenses. Is this happening because a child is, say, 3 years old and just doesn't have impulse control yet? That's developmental. Is the room too loud or chaotic? That's environmental. Or is it about their unique personality? That's individual. And this chart? This is where it all clicks into place. Once you understand the why, your whole approach changes. You see, if a child is acting out because they crave a sense of power, the answer isn't to get into a power struggle. It's to give them lots of little choices throughout the day. When we match our approach to their motivation, we're problem solving, not just reacting. So we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. We're shifting from just understanding behavior to taking action. And we're going to open up a toolkit of proactive strategies. These are the things you can do to prevent challenging behavior from ever starting in the first place. And one of the most powerful tools in this entire kit is something called redirecting. Now, notice the keywords here: proactive and before it escalates. This isn't about waiting for a problem and then punishing it. It's about seeing that a child is about to, say, throw a block, and skillfully guiding their energy toward building a tower instead. It's just so effective. And this leads us to what I think is the #1 rule of communication in the classroom. It's so simple, but it's an absolute game changer. We have to tell children what we want them to do, not just what to stop doing. This creates a clear, positive, shared language for everyone. Okay, let's look at a classic. We see a kid running, our first instinct is to yell, "Don't run." But all that does is stop a behavior. It doesn't teach a new one. When we say use walking feet, we're giving them a clear instruction. They know exactly what to do instead. Here's another one we all know. No yelling is a command. But use your inside voice is an instruction. It gives the child a tool, a concept they can remember and use later. See the difference? It's a small shift in our words that makes a huge difference in their learning. And one last time to really let this sink in. Don't hit is a dead end. It stops the moment, but that's it. But use gentle hands. Now that teaches a replacement skill. It teaches children how they should be interacting. It's moving from a language of no to a language of how. All right, so we've talked about what to do before a challenging behavior starts. But what about when things are going great? How do we respond then? Well, it turns out there's something way more powerful than just a generic "good job."
And here it is. It's a key idea called positive descriptive acknowledgement, or PDA for short. It's the difference between saying "good job" and saying, "I saw you gave Yunseo a turn with the fire truck. That was really friendly." You're not just praising them, you're describing what they did and connecting it to a positive value. This helps them build their own internal compass.
And this right here, this is why that matters so much. Our goal isn't to make kids dependent on us for a sticker or a good job. Our goal is to help them find that motivation inside themselves. That's the stuff that lasts a lifetime. So instead of that default "good job," you've got options. You can just narrate what you see. "Wow, you put all the blocks back in the bin." You can connect it to a value, like we just talked about. "That was so responsible." You can talk about how it helped others. "Now the floor is safe for everyone to walk." Or you can ask a great question that makes them think. Tell me how you decided to build your tower that way.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground: relationships, being a behavior detective, proactive strategies, and positive acknowledgement. So now let's zoom out and put it all together into one simple, powerful model: the teaching pyramid.
Because what this pyramid really represents is a fundamental shift in how we think. We're moving away from the old way, which was just reacting to problems, and we're moving to this new way, which is all about being proactive. We're not just trying to stop a behavior, we're focused on teaching the social and emotional skills a child needs to succeed.
The foundation of this whole pyramid, the biggest and most important part, is universal support. This is all the stuff we do for every single child: building those positive relationships, creating a great environment. And the truth is, when this base is really strong, most challenging behaviors just disappear. They never even have a reason to start. Now, for a smaller group of kids who might need a little extra help, we move up to the next level: targeted support. This is for those kids who might be at risk, who need some more direct, focused teaching on a specific skill, like how to join a group of friends, or what to do when you feel frustrated.
And then, way up at the very top of the pyramid, you have individualized support. This is for the very few children who have really persistent challenges and need intensive one-on-one help. But here's the key takeaway. The stronger your base is, the fewer and fewer kids will ever need to get to this top level.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. What if we just threw out the term classroom management altogether? What if we stopped seeing our job as controlling behavior, and instead, we saw it as our job to build connections and teach skills? What would change for you? For the kids, it's a powerful idea.